get this back on track. We're going to get this whole show back on track.
He's just a little drunk.
A little drunk. But you know what? You're going to feel maybe intoxicated at the end of this next movie that we got to see early. And when I say we, I mean the royal we. I saw Dune Part 2. I saw Dune Part 2 after delays of the pandemic, of the actors' strike, and everything else in between. It is finally coming out in theaters March 1st. And I got a special screening last week. And boy, this movie, this is the reason why movie theaters exist. The physical space of movie theaters exist. And they must continue to exist because this is one that you cannot watch on your phone. You shouldn't watch on your laptop. You shouldn't be watching on a plane on that screen 5 inches away from you. Maybe the Vision Pro. Maybe the Vision Pro, that may work. But this is one that you have to watch on the big screen because it blows you away visually. And also the sound design is enveloping. I saw this in the Dolby surround sound theater. And I never really, I watched movies in the Dolby theater before, surround sound, but I never really noticed really how many speakers there are in the movie theater. Because I got there early, got my snacks, got my mozzarella sticks, got my drinks, just chilling. And killing time. And I look up, and no joke, every 4 to 5 feet, there is this large ball of a speaker. And they line the walls, and they line the ceilings, and they're behind me, they're above me, they're below me.
They're probably in your seat.
And they're probably in my seat, they're probably in my drink. And as soon as the movie starts, you are, your whole body is vibrating with the sound of this film. And so it is a physical experience, but let's get beyond that, beyond the physicality of this movie, which you should watch, again, in the movie theater. But basically, Dune Part 2 picks up right after Dune Part 1 with Paul Atreides seeking revenge against the conspirators who destroyed his family. Facing the choice between the love of his life and the fate of the universe, Paul must prevent a terrible future that only he can foresee. Everybody's fantastic in this film. Timothée Chalamet, off the Wonka movie that he has just appeared in, it's night and day performances. And so this guy has range. Many people describe him as one of the best actors of our generation. This movie backs it up. He puts it all out there, and you believe it. You believe that this guy is born to be a leader, born to be a warrior, and some guy that you don't want to mess with. Zendaya's character is actually given a character in this film. At the end she's introduced at the end of the first one, and she gets very little screen time. However, this one, you know her motivations, you know her fears, you know her hopes, and you buy this relationship between her character, Shawnee, and Paul. And again, Zendaya's on fire right now. She's going to be in Challengers, hot and heavy. She's hot and heavy in this Dune Part 2 film. Great cast. Javier Bardem, again, we were introduced to him at the end of the last movie. He gets a much more developed character. The guy who I wanted to see more in this film.
Yeah.
The guy, Austin Butler.
Yeah.
Formerly Elvis himself. He's introduced as this character named Fide Rotha, basically a psychopath who is murdering people left and right, even his own colleagues and friends and quote-unquote friends and whatnot. He was fantastic in this film, completely transformed. You do not see Austin Butler at all. My one small gripe, is that I would love to have seen more of him.
Yeah.
Definitely would love to see.
I mean, that's a good gripe to have.
Yeah.
Not that something was wrong, but that you just wanted more. You wanted more.
He was fantastic. He got a very good amount of screen time, but I would have loved to see 10, 20 more minutes of this guy. I think he was great. Dave Bautista, Josh Brolin, Florence Pugh. Everybody was on their game for this film. What else can I talk about? This was, not only were the visual effects amazing, but because they filmed in actual deserts all the way across the world, everything looks so real, looks so grounded, and the visual effects that were used were done stupendously. Is that the word?
Yeah, that's a word.
Yeah. It was incredible. This is a budget of $200 million, and you see every penny on the screen.
Okay.
I think it's fantastic. Highly recommend watching this movie. Right now, they left it so this movie is self-contained and the series could end right here. He has not said that he is going to be making a part 3. If he does, which I hope he does after watching this, I think they could forward the story. But if they just kept it as a part 1 and a part 2 film and contained, they could do that too. So I love the ending. Doesn't leave you on like a cliffhanger that you have to like. Oh, I don't know what's gonna happen. Where you can let your imagination roll with where it ended. So I think it's a great part 2. It could be a great 1 and 2, though I would love to see a part 3.
So how would you say that this film compares to the first one in scope, in story? Is it just that much more? Is it?
Yeah. So the first movie is fantastic, superb as well. The one downside that it has is that it has to use a lot of its runtime building the world, and it builds the world fantastically, where it feels lived in. These characters feel real, and the emotions and the weight of the situation feel like you can grasp it in your hands. And so it has to do. So the first film has to work with that. Here, you're hitting the ground running. The world is built, and yeah, it expands on it even more so, but you are already on board, and so it doesn't have to worry about building too much of that. You're already there. So in that sense, it's, I will say it is better than part 1, but you want sequels to be like that. You don't want like, the first one was great, the second one is kind of slumpy. You want things to get progressively better. And so Dune Part 1 was fantastic. Dune Part 2 is even better in every regard. There was one critic who did say that the visuals are fantastic, though the story feels like it's walking in sand. And I will say that for sure in the middle, second act, there is a part where I could say you could trim a little more, speed things up a little bit. However, you could argue that in that time, you have room to breathe, you have room for characters to grow even more. Also, the third act, my heart was racing. It was a fantastic third act. Pedal to the metal. It did not let off. The worms were fantastic. Yeah. If you love the worms in part 1, you will love the worms in part 2. Incredible stuff. So I couldn't speak more highly of this film. Watch it in the theaters. Don't watch it on your phone. Yeah. Don't watch it on your iPad. And yeah, Apple Vision, put that to the side. Go to the movie theater and watch this film.
In Dolby Surround Sound. Or IMAX.
Yes, I'm gonna watch this again, and I'm gonna watch it in IMAX when it comes out. It's because, yeah, it's amazing.
That's what movies were made for.
You just want to lay. We had the recliner chairs, so I just want to lay back and like have my body just like enveloped by Dune.
Just all the vibrations.
Just all the
vibrations.
Like you're
floating up into the screen.
Basically.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, I can't wait to go see it.